What's up everyone, it's Adrian from Adrian's Awesome Accumulation. Today I'm going to be reviewing this legendary Barbarian from Mythic Legions, which is a brand new company I just learned about. Well, it's not a brand new company, it's been around since 2015, but it's brand new to me because I just learned about it. And I basically found out this company because I was messing around with my 30 minutes fantasy model kits, and I wanted to pose them with different figures of like a fantasy line, so I was like searching for some stuff and I came across Mythic Legions. I came across some goblins and stuff like that. And these guys make a whole bunch of cool fantasy, fantasy toys. I mean, if you guys are into like fantasy type, action figures or like yeah, stuff like that, this is the line for you guys to collect. I mean, they do goblins, they do elves, they do creatures, like savannah type creatures. They're doing lions, hyenas, werewolves, they're doing vampires, they have a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to show off this guy for you today. And as you can see, this guy looks like a certain barbarian that, if you read comics, you're probably gonna know who he is. But yeah, but it's not him, but it's kind of like him, and I think it's really cool. So before we get started, let's take a look at the box. I wasn't gonna really show off this box because it's not really anything fancy. It just this is where the figure came in. It has like a package window and stuff. Right here we got the Mythic Legions logo. On the side right here is pretty cool because they all have like lore behind the toy, and so you can see like basically what's this character is all about right here. So that's pretty cool. And they all, to my understanding, all their figures come with like a little lore info about the character. So that's pretty neat. On the back here, you have a little bit of lore, I think, or maybe like about the making of the figure or something like that. This part's pretty cool, like this shiny little logo right here. And what's cool about this is you have these flaps. So like you just flip these up or flip the top one up, and then you just kind of slide this out, and then you take the figure out from there. So you can put this back. But that's pretty much it for the box. It's pretty cool. It reminds me back to like the old days. Gives me that nostalgia of like me getting Spider-Man toys as a little kid and just like opening up the box. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's get that box out of the way, and let's take a look at the figure right here. And just right off the bat, you can see that this guy is super, super, super highly detailed. I mean, he looks really great. You can see him. Let's take off his accessories for right now. Let's take off his sword, which these accessories look really cool. So take off the sword and shield, and we'll just take a look at the figure by himself. And as you can see, yeah, great detail. Look at his face. I mean, that sculpt work is great. That paint work is great. You can see his green eyes. That's pretty cool. You can see like all the detail in his mouth, his frowns and stuff like that. That's like this like scowling, angry face. That's pretty neat. You can see like these little straps that he has on his chest right here. They're all painted, nice brown color. Got the silver little like buckles and stuff. Gold emblem right here. And then the silver buckles again. And this is pretty cool. And these parts are accessories also. This piece right here comes on him. This one was separate. So you just basically take off his head and his arm and you put this on. And that's pretty neat. And on the back here, as you can see, the one that I put on is where you can put this axe. So let's take this axe off right here. And yeah, so it comes with like this little like strap right here that you can kind of like open and slide in any weapons that you want. You could also put the sword in there. So that's pretty neat. And then you have this little gold emblem right there. And then you have like these little pegs right here, or like these little holes where you can like peg on like extra shoulder armors and other stuff. Like if you collect like other figures from this line, you can mix and match. It's like 30 minutes fantasy. It's kind of like that, except they're not model kits, so you don't have to build them up. It's just like a toy. You just like take off the arms of like other figures and put that on, or the head and stuff like that. So that's pretty neat. As you can see right here on his waist area, you can see this cool little like silver, like armor piece that he has right here on his waist. And then you can see like the detail, like this is plastic, but it's supposed to be like some kind of fur. That's pretty neat. And then the belt. I mean, just look at that. These are crazy detail. This is really cool. And this is like soft goods right here. And this is also really detailed. Look at all that You know, like stitch work, has texture and stuff. It's like this brownish burgundy dirty color. And there's like a wire right here that you can like bend. So like you can pose up or and stuff. However he's standing and stuff like that. Got this side armor piece right here, which looks really nice. And then you got this, which is plastic, but it resembles chainmail. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, man, this guy is just really great. I really like. I mean, I can't believe I just basically found out about this line. I mean, if I would have known about it, much earlier, I would have had so much toys in this line already. But look at his boots. That looks nice. These little shackles right here are also accessories. He comes with 3. I have 2 on him. But these are cool. And these, this is actually a chain right here. So that's pretty neat. That's so cool, man. You know, like he just like escaped like some dungeon or a prison and stuff. You know, makes him look tough. That's pretty awesome. And his hairpiece, as later when we get to the accessories, I'll show you that he comes with different hair pieces. So that's pretty cool. But the hair came out good. The hair sculpt. All right, so let's get into articulation here. And his arm can move all the way around. You can get his arms going up to a T pose like that. And of course, if you go over here, you can get it higher, right? He does have a single bend right here. And I believe these are older. Well, like this one's newer, but like I believe they're making some brand new action figures that are gonna have like double jointed elbows, but this one's a single right here. And then at the wrist right here, you can move it all around, and you can move it up and down right there, as you can see. Over here also, single bend, and then move the wrist, and then, sorry, as you can see right there, bends like that. There's no like little ball peg like in most like model kits or like Japanese figures or like foreign figures that I've noticed. Like these ones, like this is like an American company. It just kind of has them like this, so it doesn't really get like that all that range movement as you know, like it'd be like on the ball peg and stuff like wrist. But you know, it's pretty good. Like the range is pretty neat. On the head, you do got. Let's see, let me take this off. You got this ball peg right here. That's pretty cool, and it can move down right here and up. It's kind of tight. I did warm this, like, the thing about these two, like, as soon as you open them, they have, like, this little, like, slip that says, like, they recommend warming these figures up to, like, move them. But, which I did. It was, like, the first time I did that. I was like, warm them up. That was brand new to me, but, you know, it surprisingly worked. You know, getting out of the box, it was, like, he was really tight. But actually warming up worked. I guess I have to warm up his head a little bit more, but yeah, as you can see, it comes up and down right there, so you can move his head down, up, and then he does have like, you can swivel his head right there, and he can look around. So that's pretty neat. Again, you hear all that noise because he is tight. From the waist, the stomach area, you could move him around like that. It does bend back that far forward, so pretty good. You know, it's like pretty good back and pretty good forward range of movement right there on the waist. His legs do come up that high with all this armor stuff, but you can like move this out of the way, and that's how far he reaches upward and back. You know, pretty decent actually. Actually, really decent. All right, and then he does have a single bend at the knee right there, but he can move right there at the top of his leg, and then he can move. Oh, crap. He can move a little bit at his knee, and then he can move right here at the foot. And then, yeah, his foot right here, you can move his leg down and up. And then, does he have a... No, he doesn't. So that is the articulation on this guy. And stick around, I'll show you the rest of his accessories. All right, be back in a few. All right, you guys, here we are with the rest of his accessories. Let's start off with his hands. All right. All right, so here we got the classic fist hands right here, punching hands. And as you can see, they came out great. Look at the sculpt work on this and the color painting. You can see his fingers. This is really nice. I mean, look at this. Look at his thumb right there. That looks good. Let's get this out of the way. Then we got two, like, kind of like open palm, but like kind of like curling his fingers, like he's angry and stuff. So that's pretty neat. And you can see all the detail right here on these ones. Looks good. And then we got his open palm hands right here, but also kind of curving, kind of like he's choking somebody, grabbing them by the throat, you know, or like smashing them into a wall or into the ground. That's pretty neat. I mean, that's what I would use them for. That's pretty cool. As you can see right there. And then we got two grabbing hands. Again, this one for like grabbing his weapons. But as you can see right here at the bottom, they're both grabbing hands, but this one's kind of like tilted upwards. So like this is if he was like kind of like pointing the sword, right? Like if he's holding the sword and you want like him pointing it at the enemy, like so. So that's pretty neat. And this one's just kind of like just grabbing, kind of like moving it left and right. So that's pretty neat. Of course, you can get this one to like swing the sword and stuff like that. All right, and here we have his two shoulder pauldrons that he comes with right there, or shoulder armor. As you can see, these are very detailed. You can see like all like it's kind of like damage right here at the top. That's pretty good. And then it's like battle scarred, battle damaged, and whatnot. You can see the chainmail down here. It's pretty cool. That's the right one and the left one. Look at how nice right there, right and left. And you can see right there again, more battle damaged up here. So that's pretty cool. And these ones, let's see, you get it right here, and then these are the ones that you just peg into like these little ports right here. So you kind of get this the straps out of the way, and then let's see, move his head, and then you just put these on like so, and then bam, he has some shoulder armor, which looks really nice. But again, the only bad thing about this is that kind of limits his, you know, his articulation. So if you just want him posed up in a cool like stance, you just put these on and you're never gonna move them again. But if you're gonna like pose them around, that's why I don't have them on, because I like the articulation. So those are those. He does come with this little clip right here, and this is basically for the shield. As you can see, it comes with this one, so like he can hold the sword with his hand, or you can put this one on. Oops. Right here, you can put this one on right here, and this one just kind of like clips onto his arm right there. This is kind of loose, so it's probably like you move it up or something. There we go. And I'll do that. Again, now that we're talking about the shield, here we have the shield, nicely painted right here with the silver rivets, and it's kind of like bronzish gold color right here at the edge. The back is like this gunmetal color. It's nice. And we got two bronze bracelets right here. This one actually came on the figure out of the package, but I removed them for the chain link cuffs. But these are also really nice. And you can like probably use these for like a different character down the line if you get more of these action figures. Right there. Really nicely detailed. Both of these. And then we got the other chain link cuff right here. And this one's bigger than these ones on his arms. I thought it was like for the neck, but like it doesn't really fit, so. And then maybe like around his foot or something like that. I don't know. I don't know where this one would go, but you get an extra one, and this one is also have a chain right here. And I like these. These are pretty cool. So I guess another character down the line you can use this for. And he also comes with a different head. Look at it. It comes with the helmet head. This one came on the box. He came with this one out of the box. But I didn't like it because he looked like a Viking and stuff like that. And this one looks like Conan. So like, who would want him to look like Conan, you know? And it comes with these horns right here that you just pick up here. I can get that in. All right. And then we have some like kind of like Viking helmet guy with like red hair right there. And then you could like move these around and stuff. So you can get them like sideways or pointing down or upward or however you like right there. And this is where he will attach, right? So take this head off. Put this one back in. Bam, you got like a Viking barbarian right there. Which is pretty cool, right? The beard's all detailed right here, and you got these little bangles on his like beard and stuff like that. It's pretty nice. And then have those up. And then we got the two different hair pieces right here. One red color. I guess this one would match his beard, right? So like this one's like, yeah, he took off his helmet and he just put this headpiece on. Let me see. And this kind of just like pegs in up here at the top, as you guys can see. So you put this red one on. That's how it looked with red hair. So you can see right there, red-headed barbarian, or like an auburn type of color. And then we got the blonde one right here. It's kind of tight. Hold on. There we go. Did I get that right? Yeah. And then we got the blonde one right here, which I guess he's supposed to look like He-Man with this one, which kind of right. If He-Man had a little like darker skin tone, but that looks cool. So those are his different hair pieces, and then of course his sword right here. You can see like this bronze hilt right there. It's pretty nice. You got the blade. It's some like gunmetal silver dark color, and this is really cool. Right there. And then we got his axe. You can see the details right here with the ornamentation right there on the top of the axe. That looks nice. I wish they would have painted that like gold or something like that. If it was me, I would have painted it. But you know, it looks nice. And then right here, the handle, the texture right there, on the bottom. All right, you guys, there's the accessories. And stick with me and I'll show you a few poses. Pose 1, Barbaric Attack. Pose 2, Looking for a Fight. Pose 3, By the Power of Grayskull. Pose 4, Eager to Die. Pose 5, You Are Not Ready for This. Well, there's the review for the legendary Barbarian from Mythic Legions, done and complete. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you guys did, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving, and now that that's done, it's on to Christmas. So I hope to see you guys next time. God bless, and bye.